Hello everyone, hope your day is going well so far. I am having a good day so far, and I wanted to talk a bit today about turbocharged cars, how to take care of turbocharged cars and such. Today we're just going to do a little drive, as I now own a turbocharged car and thought this would be an interesting video to make. So, a couple things here. Welcome to the GR Corolla. Now, I hesitate to say my GR Corolla because I'm leasing it, but I guess who else's GR Corolla is this, you know what I mean? There we go. So, you know, technically it's the bank's GR Corolla, but my GR Corolla nonetheless. I literally, yesterday, went in, traded in my Miata. That was something I had it for sale. Wanted this for a number of reasons. Mainly it's practicality, but it's still a very fun car. So, you know, that is what I was looking for. Now we gotta get out of here. This is gonna suck. But I wanted to talk about turbochargers, turbocharged cars, things to note with them, and yeah, stuff like that. Also, before we really get going here, this is my older setup because I left my mount for my proper setup in my mom's car, which is unfortunate, but that is the way life goes. So I need to get that mount still to be able to drive proper. It's also been a little bit, so yeah, sorry for the lack of uploads. I've been dealing with a lot of family stuff, selling the Miata, all that kind of thing. But so let me talk about what a turbocharger is really, first of all, because I feel like a lot of people don't know, because they hear turbo, they hear boost, all that stuff, and they just, you know, they just think it sounds cool. And it is cool. It's actually really cool. So what a turbo is, it's a compressor wheel that just forces more air into the engine. Just makes the air dense and makes bigger boom, basically. That's the layman's terms. So what it is, it's a turbine, hence the name, turbo. It's a turbine that is on the exhaust side, and it takes the exhaust gases that would be like lost to heat or out the pipe, and it uses that to spin up a turbo. This turbo then compresses the air coming in from the intake, and it creates what's called boost. So what boost is just taking more than atmospheric pressure. So it's taking that air, compressing it to be more dense, because the more dense the air is, the more power you can make. So with that more dense air, you then put, what's that shit called? With the more dense air, you then put in more fuel, and you can create a bigger boom, creating more power. Now, the reason that manufacturers do this, usually it used to be purely for performance, and now it's for emissions and performance, because it's a lot easier to make a lot of power out of a turbocharged car than a naturally aspirated car. Now, what a naturally aspirated car is just taking regular air temperature from the air, or not air temperature, atmospheric pressure, so regular pressure from the air, and just sucking it into the engine and making power with that. So the difference between the turbo is that it's taking that atmospheric pressure and then compressing it to like beyond that. So for example, this car uses, I believe, around 26 psi of boost, which is a lot. So I believe what an atmosphere is 14.7, so that's doubling, or almost tripling, I think, because I'm not sure if I'm doing that math right, but basically, if you're putting in 1 bar of boost or 14.7 psi of boost, that's another atmosphere on top of the atmospheric pressure. So this is doing 26, which is a lot. And the reason it's doing so much boost is because this is a 1.6 liter, which is kind of a big for this kind of engine, but it's a 3-cylinder. So a majority of cars on the road are 4 cylinders or V6s or just 6 cylinders. This one's a 3-cylinder, so it out of the box would have less power, but it uses so much boost to create 300 horsepower and near 300 foot-pounds of torque. So pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I'll put a picture up of what a turbo looks like. That's kind of how it works. There's also superchargers. Those are a bit different, but same idea. Like, you're trying to do the same thing with a supercharger as you are with a turbo, which is compressing air and making power. Now, things to know with turbochargers. Since they use the exhaust gases, they have lag. Basically, off the line, you're going to be waiting. It depends on the car. Modern cars have gotten really good at this, but older cars, it's a little rougher because you have to wait for that turbine to spin. So like, you know, when you put your foot down, you're waiting about a half second to a second or whatever it may be for all the power to come on. Whereas in a naturally aspirated car, so without a turbo or supercharger, you get that power immediately. So it has its upsides and downsides. Turbos usually have this kind of wave of torque, depending on what it is, like how it's designed, you know, because you can use it in many different applications. There's different configurations, different ways of tuning these, where like in this car particularly, there is a bit of turbo lag, and also turbo lag and boost threshold. That's a whole other thing. I don't fully understand that. I'm just going to call it turbo lag because I think that's the commonly accepted term for it. But this car has a little bit of turbo lag, so if I put my foot down right now, it takes a sec to build, and then you get it going, and it starts to put that boost to the ground. So that's one disadvantage of a turbo, but also it's kind of fun. It's kind of charming in a way because you're waiting and then you get that wave of torque, and you also get fun little blow-off valve noises, which I might be able to show you when we get to a lower speed section. It decided to start raining. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. This car is still in break-in, so I'm not gonna do too hard, like go too hard on it. There's like, ideally you don't go above 5,500 RPM during break-in. I have, but it is what it is. This car has 111 miles on it, so I got it new. First new car for me. Pretty cool. I got a good deal with the whole Toyotathon stuff, but that's besides the point. But things to know with turbochargers and how they work is, I think like a lot of people will be used to, like, if you're trying to pull into traffic and you need to go for a gap and you gun it and go for it, there's gonna be a little bit of waiting before you can really get into it. You know what I mean? So anticipate that, because you don't want to get rear-ended on the guy that's coming up on you because you're waiting for your turbo to spool. Now in modern cars this is less of an issue, because they've gotten to a point where there's less and less turbo lag using various technology. And yeah, another thing to know is these engines get hotter than a typical normally or naturally aspirated engine, whatever you want to call it. And because of that, they need an intercooler. They have intercoolers, but then they have usually larger radiators. This one has even a sub radiator to help keep things cool. So it has two, like it has its big main radiator and then a little secondary. Let's get some boost noise. Not sure if you guys can hear that. It sounds really cool. This car also makes, like, every once in a while it'll make like the scroll noise, like the little doo-doo-doo-doo, you know? Most of the time it's just blow off valve, so it just psst, but sometimes it'll do the little doo-doo-doo-doo, and it's really fun. But yeah, basically the idea of a turbo is to make power efficiently. But yeah, things to be aware of. Continue on that. So heat management, especially if you're tracking cars, they've gotten a lot better. But when you're turboing, if you're turboing, like adding a turbo to say like a regular car, you're gonna want to do all the supporting mods because the regular car is not built to handle it. So from the factory with turbochargers, you know, they add all the cooling, all that to be able to handle it. So like, I seriously doubt this engine will ever overheat, because it's a Toyota and they really care about what they're doing, and two, it's a tried and true platform for them, so they know what the car needs to be reliable. But yeah, they do tend to run hotter than regular engines just because they're creating more heat because they're pumping, they're, you know, making that dense air, making more explosion. They just get hotter. So that's something to be aware of. When that comes into play, so like I was looking at the owner's manual for this car just because I'm that guy. I'm curious. I want to learn all the things. It says that after a spirited drive, if you don't give it like some cool down on the drive, to let it idle without turning the engine off for a minute. Now this is kind of just a general rule for especially performance turbo cars. Your regular turbo car probably doesn't really matter unless if you're, you know, flooring it all the time. But for performance turbo cars, the reason you want to do that is because if you turn the car off immediately, that turbo is still going to be really hot, and with that hot turbo, oil is going to sit in there and then it's going to evaporate, and the oil just becomes less and less and less effective. And in extreme cases, things can also crack. That's much less likely to happen, but yeah, things can also crack. Let's give a little. Yeah, this thing is so much fun. I love this car. But yeah, that's a big thing with turbos. You know, give them a break sometimes. And yeah, like you can thrash them, but make sure to take care of them. Just know that there's risks involved with thrashing them. Another thing, so down here I have a boost gauge set up currently. So Toyota's cool. You can switch between different modes. You can probably do this in your turbo car, or they used to have analog boost gauges. You can still get those, you know. But here, watch this. So if I go into fourth gear here, I push on the accelerator, that boost gauge goes up. So with that boost gauge going up, that's the pressure that it's creating. As you can see, it takes some time for that to get all the way up to its peak boost. And that's what I was talking about. The boost threshold, the lag, that kind of thing. Now, when these cars are cold, like when you first start the car up, you really want to take it easy, especially in a performance car. You want to take it easy. You want to try and stay out of boost. So right now I can put my foot down to about here without going into boost. Once it crosses that 0, you're in boost. Now, like light boost doesn't really matter, but you just don't want to be flooring it in these cars when they're cold, because, you know, wait till your oil's up to temp, wait till your coolant's up to temp, or else it's just not going to appreciate it. Things can break. It's not good for the car. So that's a big thing. Because with NA cars, you know, the same idea applies, but it's a bit less drastic than a turbo car. Wow, this thing is so fun, dude. This thing is so fun. Yeah, let's see. What else with turbo cars? Maintenance, you just want to follow the strict maintenance schedule. Whatever it is, dude, just do it. Don't be that guy, you know. You want to make sure you're doing your maintenance or else the engine's going to blow up. With tuning, if you do tuning, make sure it's a reputable and reliable source, and know that the engine has a higher risk of exploding. So when it happens, don't be upset because you tuned the car. For me personally, factory, this is great. I'm good. If you do tune the car, you want to get something really conservative, unless if you go crazy with supporting mods. So with supporting mods, adding more cooling, bigger injectors, all that kind of stuff. Because if you don't support what you're doing, it's just not going to be a good time, dude. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else I can talk about with turbos. This car specifically, I think this also applies to a lot of turbo cars. If you're going really light, it gets really good fuel economy. It'll get like 30 mpg all day. But when you're in boost all the time, that fuel goes down and down and down and down, because when you're in boost, it just devours fuel. Yeah, so right now, I'm doing about 20 something, but if I get into boost here, it goes down to like 6. Oh, that was a cool scroll noise. Sorry, I didn't get that for you guys, but maybe you heard it. Another cool thing about this car, it shows me all the temps right there, so I can see. My water temp is good. My oil temp is good. It's so funny. I can hear water over there because of the it's dripping off the roof. Yeah. Let's see, more things about this car specifically. 6-speed manual, turbo 3-banger, 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive with a split system where you can do, you know, a bunch of crazy crap. What else? I've also been doing all this in eco mode, which I believe reduces the power. So we're gonna go into regular here. And we'll put this in track for that. Yeah, I've had this for less than 24 hours. I'm really enjoying it. I wish I could have kept the Miata as a second car, but funding just wouldn't allow. Like, I could have gotten something boring as a daily, but I'd just rather put it all into one really fun car. This car also has rev matching. I'm doing it myself right now. I'm still getting used to it. But it'll do it for me if I'm feeling lazy, you know, which is nice. Yeah, really cool car. I also really like the technology in this thing. All of it's great. It's easy to use. I haven't had any issues. Obviously, I just got the car. The only thing is the wireless charger's kind of not great, but who cares, dude? I'll just use a cable. That's fine. Yeah, no foibles with this car yet. And I plan to keep you guys updated with my ownership of this car. And all the things that happen with it. Anything else about turbo cars? Are you both turning? I don't trust that Beamer. Okay, he was turning. Let's see if I can get this a little less on my nose. I want want to try and get that scroll noise again. It sounds so cool. You have to be kind of, I don't know, there's probably a way to get it to happen. I'm just not sure what that is. Little golf course out here. Gotten used to heel toe yet in this car, so still gotta get used to that. Anything else with turbos? They make really cool sounds. I think they're really fun. I think they add some character, especially depending on what it is. A lot of times what they can do is muffle the exhaust. So like personally, like the twin turbo like V8 and V12s, a lot of the times I kind of just wish those were NA cars, because I think they just make a way better sound. I mean, you can put an aftermarket exhaust on them and fix that probably, but in this car I think it's a really well balanced mix. I like it a lot. You get some blow-off valve, and you get some exhaust at higher RPM. It also depends on what mode you're in. In eco mode, there's a valve in the back of the exhaust, and it just keeps it closed. Yeah, and also I think smoothness also matters a lot with this type of car. This is a very weird intersection. I really don't like that. But yeah, smoothness matters a lot with this type of car, because if you go on and off boost, you're just like, you know, it's kind of a rough time. So you just got to be smooth. It's also car dependent. Just depends on what you're doing. Yeah, that's kind of the yapping. You guys can join me for a drive in this thing. I guess I can run down what I got. So this is a Premium Plus trim. It's a 26, so it's brand new. It's a Premium Plus because my girlfriend sits in this car a lot, and I need heated seats. Now, I am typically more of a used car guy, but over time I've kind of I've gotten tired of some of the BS with used car ownerships and not knowing history and all that. I think I'd like to start fresh, especially for a car like this, where, you know, there's a tuning market for it, and all that, where it's just like, you know, you don't know what people have done to these. I'd rather just start anew, do it all myself. And I don't plan to modify this car. Gotta be honest. I like it the way it is. But yeah, it's the Premium Plus. It's a black car. New for me. What had happened was I was planning on getting a white car, but it was still on its way from Japan when I had gotten in. This car was also cheaper by $1,000. Don't exactly remember why, but this car was cheaper, and they had some sort of dealer thing going on where it was cheaper. But and my girlfriend was like, "You should do the black," and I was like, I don't know about a black car, and eventually convinced me to try it. And I'm like, you know what, YOLO. And honestly, I really like the way it looks. It is black on black, which is kind of rough. I wish they offered some sort of bright interior for this thing. I mean, it kind of doesn't make sense because it's a Corolla, but still, you know, at least something different. What was I gonna say? So yeah, it's a black 26 Premium Plus manual. What else does the Premium Plus get you? Heated wheel, I think. I don't know if that's standard on all of them. This one has the frameless HomeLink mirror. I don't think I'm ever going to use that. One thing to note, if you're looking into these cars, I thought the frameless HomeLink mirror would have an auto dimmer. It does not, so you still have to manually do that. That's fine. I was just curious. It has the frameless HomeLink mirror. It has the all-weather floor mats that you can see down there. Those are quite nice. I like those a lot. I'm glad I got those. This is all stuff that just came on the car. What else did it have? It had some other crap. Oh, this shifter is like an upgraded shift knob. It's like the Marizo edition style, or Circuit edition style shift knob. I don't really care. Like, I think it's cool. I think it looks really cool, but I can't be bothered either way. And then I'm trying to remember what else there was. I think that might have been it. With the Premium Plus, or with the trims and options. But the Premium Plus also gets you the JBL. It's decent. It's not like the best thing on the planet, but it's decent. I'm also going really slowly without realizing. What else? You get the JBL. You get the like suede seats, so there's like Alcantara on the seats. Red stitching on the interior. I don't really care about that. Forged carbon roof. That's pretty sick. What else? Oh, this HUD. I don't know how well that's showing up on video. I am getting used to it. It's not my favorite thing yet, but I'm still getting used to it. I think it's really useful, and sometimes I don't want it there, but I can also just give it voice commands and tell it to turn it off, because it's kind of deep in the menus to turn off, which is a little annoying. What else? Oh, I think this gives you there's aluminum or some sort of metal alloy pedal down there. Like, the pedals have metal on them, metal and rubber instead of just being plastic. I'm not sure if that's a Premium Plus thing or if they changed it. I'm pretty sure it used to be, but it might be on all. Like, there's some things where, like, the hood vents used to be only on this trim, but then they added them to all models. This gets the sub radiator, so the secondary radiator, which that I do really appreciate, because, you know, I just want to make sure that this thing stays as cool as possible. What else? Dual zone climate. I don't know if that's a Premium Plus thing. I really appreciate that. Girlfriend likes it hot. I like it cold. Very useful for me, because I just don't like it. I need to be cold. I just need to be cold. There's an ambulance behind me. I always hate that feeling. Okay, let's get out of here. What else do you get? I'm trying to think. Nothing else I can really think of right now. Not sure what else you get for the Premium Plus trim. I think I listed everything. Yeah, just better interior, some styling, and you get BBS wheels. That's pretty sick. You get forged BBS wheels. Those are pretty cool. They're matte black. They look sick. And they're like 15 spoke or something insane. I'll walk you guys around this when we get there. We got 5 minutes. Yeah, I meant to do a last drive in the Miata. Honestly, I didn't know I was going to get rid of it yesterday. I absolutely love that car. One of my favorite cars of all time. But just doesn't fit my life anymore. When I bought it, it fit my lifestyle, and now it just kind of doesn't. Which is unfortunate. You know, what will probably happen is I'll probably end up getting another one at some point in life. when funds and space and all that allow. Let's see, what else can we yap about for a sec? Guess I could just do some driving. Ooh, one more thing about turbochargers. LSPI. This is important. Low speed pre-ignition. Don't remember why it happens, but I remember the reason for how it happens. High gear, high load, you don't want to do that. So you don't want to be at super low RPM in like 6th gear and floor it, because the engine just really doesn't like it, and it's an easy way to blow it up. Like it's out of all the things, it's probably the most dangerous in terms of that kind of thing. So, you know, obviously when you're in like 1st gear, you have to pull away and you can launch fast. Like that's different. That's fine. But when you're in higher gears, like if I was at like 2000 RPM right now, I wouldn't, or below, like 1500 RPM, I wouldn't want to floor it. Because one, it confuses the crap out of the engine because I'm not in the right gear for the situation. And two, it's just going to be building a bunch of boost and not really doing much. So like, it's just not good for it. So yeah, that's something to watch out for. Also, I'm kind of scared, bro. I feel like I might end up getting a ticket in this car because it's a lot quicker than the Miata, especially in that meaty mid-range. And I end up going... It also masks speed a lot better because it's a lot more insulated. So I end up going quicker than I think I am. Just kind of not ideal. Brake pass required at all times. I don't need one. I'm going to be here for 5 minutes. That's so cool. Here, maybe we can get some windows down really quick. Let's get to some lower speeds here. You can really hear it. Is this the right road? I think so. Yeah, there you go. It's so stupid, dude. I love it. And the exhaust sounds pretty good. I like it. Nice little 3-popper, dude. Out of the lake, here we are. like this thing a lot. Yeah, hopefully you guys could hear some of that. I also like how you can still hear the blow-off valve even in the car. I like that. And it's not obnoxious. Oh wow. I don't know how I'm gonna heel toe this thing. Good thing there's freaking IMT rev matching. Also, one thing I kind of like about this car is it's low-key a sleeper, dude. People don't be knowing. Because why would they? It's a Corolla. Okay, we're just gonna park like this just for a second. Be that guy, and I'll walk you guys around this. Show you around the engine as well, just really quick. Let me get out here first. Oh, okay. Oh. So, see, carbon. Got that wide front end, big intake. Wide rear end. Nice little triple exhaust. Let's get this unlocked here. Where is it? There it is. Also, I like the hood a lot. It's really light. So, let's see. Open her up. I haven't figured out where this is yet. There it is. There she is. Little 3-cylinder. Turbo somewhere back there. Nice little engine. Intake's big. Got these two little scoops up here as well. Big front grille. Nice relief there. A little bit of brake relief there as well. Yeah. Nice car. Alright. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I don't even want to look at the fuel economy because I know it was horrible. So, yeah. I hope you guys have a good one. Let me know what you guys want to see. What you guys want me to yap about. If you guys have any ideas or, yeah, any of it. Just let me know in the comments. Have a good one, guys. See ya.